Hey guys, I haven't been on video in a very long while. I've been very busy. The garage is actually gone. Toyota Celica is gone, but I still have Panda at least, so I'm going to be working on that now. There was a comment in one of my videos where somebody wanted to see how you take out the dashboard. It just so happens that I need to do that anyway, so I figured why not make a little video out of it. Now I do have a Heinz manual, and I could go through it, but to be honest, I kind of like the experimentation of it, you know, screwing up, learning from it and whatnot. It's an educational thing. I know I could fix it. I don't like to read that much, so I'm just gonna do this the old-fashioned way of reverse engineering it. So let's see how this goes. So I've started off taking some of the stuff off the dashboard. I've taken off the vents, the fuse box, and OBD2 plug box, whatever it is. I've taken off most of the cowl. Just need to get to the top of it after I take the steering wheel off. You gotta pull this bit of plastic. Actually, I'll use my little thing to pry it open. This just pulls off very easy, and it's held down by a couple of bolts. One Allen key there, a couple of screws there. This holds those two small Phillips screws hold down this bottom section of the gear. Yeah, no, I'll probably use a screwdriver. Screwdriver, where thou? Screwdriver. So what I did is I propped it against the side here like this and just kind of gave it a little pull. There we go, pop. All good. So that pops that out. Same thing was with this, I'm pretty sure. I think I just plugged it into the side somewhere and just give it a bit of a Yankee Doodle. I don't know if they're meant to pop out like that, but there you go. Wow, my camera lens is really filthy. Beautiful, just made it 10 times worse, I feel. There we go, that's better. I do have the original stereo, but I decided to go with an aftermarket Android head unit. Taking that off, it'll be different, but basically on the original you'll have two like little circles here and here on each side of the radio, and you get a special tool to plug it in, and then you jerk them to the left or the right so that tabs get released within the metal caging that is actually sits inside of here. Then you unscrew it, beepity boppity boop, you got yourself like a big hole in your car. But so I was only saying that because I don't have the radio here and I'm not gonna do a tutorial on how to remove that. What you do is you get a flathead and you just kind of get it into these little holes that are right there on the plastics. I think you can notice this hole right here. You stick it in there and you pry it down, and you can use your fingers once you lift it up to kind of pull the plastic back towards you so that it comes out, and then ever so slowly going around on all four edges to do that, and then pull it towards you and it pops out. Now to remove this, it's a whole unit. And what you got to do is, once you've removed in here the little plastic that holds in the vent, you can prop in a screwdriver, flathead, on the side and just pull it out. So I'll just repeat it just so. And we slide this in the back, pow, and it pops right out. Now this applies as well to the original steering wheel, but as you can see I have a sports steering wheel from Fiat 500S or an Abarth. I think it was an Abarth. Basically there's three holes behind the steering wheel. Oh, you can see this one pretty well. One, another one up there, and another one down here. What you gotta do is you gotta get a screwdriver and kind of try and get it as perpendicular to the steering wheel as possible, or at least to this flat edge, and pry it to the left, because in there's like little metal arms that are holding onto it, and what you're doing is you're putting the flathead against this end, and then you're pushing it out so that it releases the airbag. Each point should make the airbag pop out. So that's now the airbag out. Of course, please do this when the battery is disconnected. Once the battery is disconnected, plug your key in and turn the engine over, or at least try to. That will empty out any capacitance in any circuits. Just in case, you never know, you never know. So what we gotta do next is, so you let this little bit go, tap go. Now this, what you do is you prop this little thing out first, and then you wiggle it out. And there you go, that's the airbag removed. In here we have our nut that holds the steering wheel is behind this little plastic sleeve. So we remove that, we set our steering wheel straight. Now, the beauty of these steering wheels is that they can only go one way because they have a splice at the top, plus, I don't know if you can see, but there's an arrow right there to tell you which way it has to go. So it can only match up with this dot. So that's the beauty of these steering wheels. So I'm just gonna go and undo this and pull it out, and then we'll have the steering wheel out. Remember, don't take the nut off all the way. Untighten it a little bit until you can finally start to loosen the steering wheel, otherwise you will get a face full of steering wheel, and that's not nice at all. Any other screws? I think that's pretty much it so far. I've taken out the speedometer, but there doesn't seem to be anything behind here that's necessary to take out, but I gotta take it out anyway for what I'm gonna be doing. I do need to take out the lunchbox, as I said. I don't know why I call it the lunchbox, but let's see. So a few things to note about the glove box. It's held down by 4 small, one here, one underneath it, one under here, and another one under here in the corner. And then it's held down by a fat torque screw at the very back on the inside. You probably can't see that. Oh well, vaguely you can. There is some kind of blue little box. It could be the airbag that's underneath here. And don't forget the barrel to turn off the airbag. So it's held down by a wire. You just pull it out using a plastic removal tool, and you unhook it. So now that we got the glove box out of the way, we can see that there's another big Torx bolt holding it down here at the bottom. The airbag. It's held down by 2 bolts underneath here. Big torque ones like this. One here and one here. And then you have the wire, and it's just on 2 clips at the sides. You have to be careful with airbags. Don't forget, they are explosives at the end of the day. So, you know, just be careful. Alright, look at that. So removing this cowl also is let's say effective and necessary to remove out the whole dash. So at the back, as you can see, that there's like this big pinch bolt thing, and it was held down by an Allen key. So you undo that from the bottom of the steering wheel, so you have to come up from the bottom. That releases that, and then you can just tug it out, and that's it. So now, finally, let's see if we can pull out this whole dash now. At the bottom, this one, there's a bolt here, bolt here, bolt here, bolt down here. Anywhere else? I mean, yeah, behind the gear gator, there's one here, and I think there might be one in the lunchbox. This ain't the lunchbox, but I like to call it a lunchbox. Half the center console, 2 more Torx keys or bolts underneath here, so on each side. So I'm gonna undo them, and that should almost be the whole dashboard. A couple of clips to undo, which is for the window regulators. Just undo the 2 of them, and then this goes out a little further, and that is it. That's the dash out. My god, it feels so much more spacious. I feel like I'm in a rocket ship now. Very messy rocket ship. So that's how you take off the dashboard.